What's going on, guys? I haven't uploaded in a while, but I'm back today with a hitless Enter the Gungeon all floors run. I'm pretty excited to share it with you guys. It took me a really long time to get this, probably like 40 hours of gameplay or so. I'm going to start off by saying that this run is really lucky, so just keep that in mind as we watch. And I don't have encyclopedic knowledge of this game like I do for Atomicrop, so I'm not going to be that informative with this one. This game is just like the first roguelike I ever played pretty much, and I also just happen to think it's like one of the best ones ever made, so I really like this game. And right there in the shop there was the meat bun item. That is an active item that heals 1 heart, and it gives you double damage until you take a hit, and since we're never taking a hit in this run, it's pretty much the best item that you can get, and I got it right away, so that's really exciting. I just have to get some more money, then I'll go back and be sure to buy that as soon as I can. And I also do want to note that I am playing this game on controller and there is aim assist, so if you see some like jumpy shots or anything like that, that's why. Alright, so we buy the meat bun, eat it right away, and pick up our old active item. So now we just have double damage from now until the end of the run. And I also want to say that this run, what inspired me to do it was I saw a video on YouTube of this exact same thing. That video is by a person named Retrash, so shout out to them. I will link their video in the description, and they are a much better player than me. I also want to take note of that. The first floor here is nothing too crazy. Most of the enemies are really easy to dodge. You kind of just walk in a circle around them and you can kill them all for the most part. The key economy on the first floor is kind of annoying because to get to the first secret floor you need 2 keys. So, and there's always guaranteed to be 1 key in the first shop. So if you don't get lucky and get any key drops, that means you can't open any chests. But I did get a key drop there, so that means I can open at least 1 chest. And I'm fighting the king. I think he's probably the hardest or second hardest first floor boss, but none of them are really that bad. He can kind of just pinch you when he does that move where he shoots the ball up right there and then it explodes, which he did right there. I used up both my blanks pretty early here, but I should be okay. Alright, we got the boss dead, and since you do it with no hits, you get what's called a master round, which is that item on the right there. It gives you a health upgrade, and then you always get another item on top of that. Since I'm playing as the robot, this character doesn't have health, he only has armor. The master round normally gives you a health up, but since you're the robot you can't get that, so it just gives you some money instead. And then there, how chests work in this game is that there are 2 chests per floor, and one of them will have a passive item, which, you know, just affects you all the time, and the other one will always have a gun. So I opened the green chest first and got a passive item, and I didn't really care to get a blue gun, so I just chose to shoot the other chest and break it instead of wasting a key on it. And now we're on the Oubliette. This is the first secret floor, and this is where I'd say most of my attempts came to die. This floor is a huge step up from the first floor and even from the second floor in my opinion, so I would die a lot here. And these bat enemies are probably one of the top 5 enemies that really annoy me. Their bullets can bounce off of like little decorative pieces of junk in the corners and bounce in weird ways, so they get me a lot of the time. I try and kill them as fast as I can. I went with the robot on this run for multiple reasons. I mean, the big downside of the character is that he doesn't have normal health, but that doesn't really matter for us because we're not getting hit anyway. Also, his starting gun is just really good. It has like a ton of ammo, it's really accurate, and he starts with an active item that is a bottle of water. Normally on the first floor you have to deal with like water barrels that are around the floor to put away the fire in the fireplace. But with the water bottle, you can just use that instead, not have to worry about that. Because enemies can break the water barrel, and then you're just screwed out of going to that second floor. So you can just ignore that with the water bottle item. And that's why I went with the robot. And then right there at that door at the bottom, you can see there's that little green lantern. That means there is a statue in the next room. The statues have a bunch of different effects. I'll talk about it more when I actually use it. I must have not seen it, that's why I didn't go there first. And you can see I'm running up against the walls like that in the treasure rooms. That is one way of finding secret rooms. If you walk up against the wall and your character does not stop doing the running animation, that means there is a secret room there and you use a blank to open it up. So that is the way that I prefer to find secret rooms. And for this room here, it's usually pretty tricky, but if you wait till the platforms are heading towards each other, you have a lot less of a chance of getting hit in my experience, so that's why I waited a bit there to do that. And that was a huge drop right there. I just got $50 on from the room reward there. Money's a pretty big deal when you're doing all the secret floors because you need $115 by the second floor to be able to afford the rat key, which lets you go to the rat floor. And there I got what's called an angel statue, which when I activated it, it gives me plus 25% damage and 1.5 curse. You have to keep track of your curse in this game because the higher your curse is, the more likely it is that jammed enemies will spawn. And if your curse gets to 10, what's called the Lord of the Jam spawns, and he just shoots a bunch of bullets at you non-stop, so that pretty much would kill the run. So you really have to keep track of your curse, which will come into play more later. And I got Bubble Blaster, which is honestly probably my least favorite gun in the entire game. I really hate it. But right after that I got the combined rifle, I believe it's called, which it alternates fire every magazine. The first magazine is just regular bullets, then you switch it. It's like this weird orb that bounces around like that. It does a ton of damage. So what I'll do is I'll just shoot a couple bullets of the regular magazine and then just reload right away so I can pretty much exclusively shoot the balls. This boss is pretty easy. You mostly just have to be careful not to get caught in the corner and just keep your distance from him. And then while you're playing this game, most of the time it's not advisable to roll really. You kind of want to roll as little as possible so you don't get caught and like hit by stray bullets. I rolled around the corner there because I knew the boss wouldn't be able to attack and it makes you move slightly faster, so I did it to get like a better position advantage so I didn't get pinched in the corner there. And then that that item that I just got activates a blank every time I use a active item, so that will be very good for me later. The second floor, in my opinion, is not much harder than the first floor, or the second normal floor, I should say, is not much harder than the first floor. It introduces an enemy called Lead Maidens, which are really, really hard, but other than that, it's not too bad. And I picked up that red shield at some point during that last floor. You have to take it to a particular room on this floor to get access to the second secret floor. So basically you have to take it from that floor to the room on this floor without getting hit once, which isn't a problem for us. And there I was running up against the wall. I was still doing the running animation, so I knew there was a secret room there. And this is a synergy chest. There is a system in this game called synergies, where if you have two items that interact in a particular way, you'll have what's called a synergy, which are like hard-coded interactions that they have that buff them in some way. I'm dropping all my guns and items on the ground to try and fish for a particular synergy. Here, I believe I was trying to fish for Elder Blank, which synergizes with my Blank ring, but I ended up getting Reload Stone, which is an S tier item that's really broken. When you activate it, you get this like aura around you that absorbs bullets and it fills up your ammo. And also while you hold it, your reload speed is halved, which is really, really good. So this item here was like a huge part of why I was able to win the run. And there's that rat key there. It costs $115, so I'll have to save up a bit for it. You can sell items at that grate on the ground there, which is why I sold that that gun that I hate a lot there. And here is the room where you bring the crest and you put it on there. We'll be back there later. And there is a lead maiden. I just popped the active item there, so I didn't have to deal with it at all. They are pretty scary. They like shoot bullets that stick into the walls and then turn around and aim at you and fire at you. They're really obnoxious. And that chest is breathing there, so I know it's a mimic, which you know is a fake chest, so I'll kill it. Got the Void Core Assault Rifle. It's not that good, so I won't use it that much. And I got the Beholster. He's probably the second hardest of the 3 level 2 bosses, but he's not bad at all. You just have to make sure to kill the little guys he spits out and then switch to a gun with a high fire rate to destroy the missiles when he shoots them. Other than that, you kind of just weave in the bullets, not too bad. And also when you have double damage, it's pretty easy too. And then right there I got an item called Spice. It's kind of hard to explain, but how the item works is that it gives you a couple stat boosts, and then once you use it, you're more likely to find more of it. The stat boosts kind of change as you use more of them, but we'll go over that more later. And then for the next floor, the next secret floor I should say, the boss of that floor I find really hard and like honestly a little luck dependent, so I like to stock up on as much blanks as I can before fighting him, and that's why I bought that blank there. This floor is pretty tough. It introduces some new enemies that I really don't like, and a lot of my runs would end here as well. Yeah, those little bitches right there are probably my least favorite enemy in the whole game. I don't know what it is about them. They're not even that bad, but they just piss me off. They're like slimes, and you shoot at them and they don't die. Until you like, I don't know. You can do as much damage as you want to them. They won't die until they get big and fat. and then they like explode into a bunch of bullets. They're just so annoying. And then we just passed the statue right there. It costs money to use, and I'm pretty poor, so I'll be back to that in a bit. And then right there, spice, it's like replacing an item, I guess. That's like an example of it. Normally you don't really find duplicate items in this game. Yeah, but these guys like ended a lot of my runs. They're probably the enemy that ended most of my runs. And the ghosts too. The ghosts are so annoying. They can spawn like right next to you and just hit you for free. It's pretty stupid. Playing this game back, I didn't like when I first played this game, it was when it came out. So like I don't even know how long ago now. Like probably like 7 or 8 years ago or something like that, and I haven't played it since. I didn't remember like how much bull crap there is in this game. I remember it being pretty fair, but yeah, like the ghost can spawn right on top of you. You can walk into a room and there's just an explosive barrel right next to you and it hits you. You have to deal with a lot of crap, so even if you get like a super lucky run, you can still just like get hit in the stupidest way and lose it. Yeah, I would get pretty mad doing this when I would lose good runs. I wouldn't even say this was my luckiest run that I got, honestly. But I just like lost the other ones in like really stupid ways. Yeah, like this enemy right here, those zombies coming out of the ground, they can spawn next to you. And I noticed that there was a crack on the wall below me, so I knew there was a secret room in this room. So I used my active item, which caused the blank guy to go off, and it opened up the secret room. And then in this secret room there was the evil muncher or whatever it's called. I don't even really know how it works, so I just didn't even really interact with it. I just don't really like using the gun muncher in general. It kind of annoys me, honestly. And then that active item is literally useless, so. And then I found another secret room there, but I stupidly used the med kit in the other room instead of that room, so I wasn't able to open it for free. And then I almost got pinched right there bad. I used an emergency blank to get those guys off me. I typically like to explore the entire floor before fighting the boss, so that's why I go back and do that. I was running out of ammo with my other gun, so I switched to this piece of garbage. The ammo economy for this run shouldn't be too bad because I do so much damage and because I have the reload stone active item. This room's pretty scary, honestly, because I have some curse. That means jammed versions of these enemies can spawn. And do you see how they have like glowing eyes there so you can easily see them in the dark? I don't think the jammed guys have that, so they can just bum rush you in the dark, like when you don't even see them. It's kind of stupid. And the reason I keep like shifting my guns back and forth is because this game has like gun favoriting, I guess you can call it, where like you can hold Y to bring up that wheel of weapons, or you can just press Y and switch to your other favorite gun, which basically means the last weapon you switch to. So that's why I do that sometimes. And right there I got the Cog of Battle, which is a passive item that allows you to do an active reload. So next time I reload, you'll see there's like a little tick in my reload line or whatever. If I press the reload or shoot button on that line, my next clip has like I think 75% extra damage and increased accuracy. And there I just got another spice. So now my damage is pretty crazy. I think damage stacks multiplicatively in this game. So I have ×2 from the meat bun. I think I have an extra 25% from that statue I used in the sewer floor. So that's 250% damage so far. I don't know off the top of my head how much spice gives you, and then I have an extra 75% when I do that active reload. So right now I have like 4 times damage or something crazy like that. And that statue there, what it does is when you give money to it, it like gives you a chance to shoot multiple bullets whenever you press the fire button. So it's like super good, and I never see that, so I got really lucky finding that there. Unfortunately, I only had $60 to put into it though. And then this boss is really hard. I think honestly, to me, it feels like a lot of RNG because a lot of his moves can like cross over each other in unfair ways. Like when he does that ball that shoots up in the air, similar to like the other king did, he just like combines it with other moves, and it puts you in situations that I think are so hard to dodge. And he also has that move where he like slams the ground and shoots out a ring of jammed bullets around him. But there's also like another ring in the middle with like where the bullets appear randomly. I don't know. I think it's so crap. And I used up all my blanks early, so I'm kind of roughing it a bit here. But like I said, I do so much damage that I don't really have to deal with him for that long. I burned all 4 of my blanks there. And then right there, if you look at that item pedestal, you can see that it kind of looks like it has a little face on it and it's blinking. So I know that that's a mimic, so I'm going to kill it before I go and try and take the item off of it so it doesn't hit me. And then right here, I'm just thinking of what I'm trying to fish for a synergy for. This game has so many synergies, and I don't know like any of them off the top of my head, except for like Lil Bomber. I know Lil Bomber has some awesome ones. So I just decided to go like whatever, just give me whatever you want to give me there. And I got the glass cannon, which is a really good gun because it ignores the boss damage cap, and since I do so much damage, I can like nuke the bosses like really quick. Alright, on to the next floor already. I believe this is going to be the 5th floor. It's like the 3rd normal floor, but the 5th floor that we're doing. This floor is where you get access to what's called the rat floor. And to do that, you need a key and 2 blanks. So I don't have a key right now. And I can also just generate blanks whenever I want with my little blank buddy. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem. The shop is always guaranteed to have at least 1 key for sale, so I'm not too worried about it. I feel like this floor is the first like major jump in difficulty for the game. I think the bosses in particular on this floor are pretty tough compared to what you see before it. Besides the old king, but I wouldn't really count that. And then there are little rats running around on the ground in this room, so that means there's going to be a hatch somewhere buried under some dust in this room that will have that will bring you to the rat floor. And I also want to mention that I played this with the music muted because when you do so many attempts, it's kind of annoying to hear the same music over and over again. So I hope you guys like the music that I put over this. I play so scared of those little dragon guys. They shoot out bubbles that when they pop, the bullets fly at you super fast. And I don't know why, I just can never react to it, so I just hide from them all the time. They're probably the scariest enemy on this floor, as well as like the little, like the balls that shoot out beams of damage up and down or diagonally. Those guys can just get you, so you want to be pretty careful on this floor. Yeah, those are the guys I was talking about. This room has both them and the dragon, so I know this room like the back of my hand pretty much. This game really doesn't have that many rooms to them, so you can pretty easily memorize like most of them, like what enemies are going to show up in what waves and stuff like that. It's usually not too bad. And then here I made a really stupid mistake. I noticed that my active item was charged, so I would have another blank that I would be able to use effectively. So I want to go use it on like the second secret door in here, so I can, you know, have it charged back up for the boss and not have to use my real blanks. But I walk all the way over here and then use a real blank like an idiot. So I don't know, that was really stupid. I felt like such a moron in the moment there. I was so pissed off. It wasn't even a big deal, but I don't know why. I was so nervous. Like whenever this isn't the first attempt I had with Meat Bun. I had a bunch of them, but I would always just get so nervous and like lose on the first or second floor. I think this is the furthest I ever got with Meat Bun. So I was so nervous at this point already, even though it's like it's still so early. Alright, and then this game also has like pocket reload, so when you have a gun that's put away, it'll reload itself in a little bit. So what I'm trying to do is like shuffle back and forth between my glass cannon and my combined rifle, such that I can use like the really high damage balls and also the glass cannon. But it really didn't work out there at the beginning, so I just stick with using the glass cannon from here on out. And it killed that boss in like 3 or 4 shots, so my damage is insane right now. And I have a key, so I might as well open this green chest. And in it, I get the dueling pistol. This gun's kind of weird. It's kind of like an active item, but a gun. It charges up when you do damage, and you can't like reload it or anything like that. It's really good to have as a secondary because you can just switch to it, shoot a huge laser that does a ton of damage, then switch back to your regular gun. So I like to keep it as my like second favorite gun. I'm really liking this ruby carbine right now, so that's kind of like my mobbing gun. And then I have the glass cannon for bosses, so my guns are pretty good right now. Or like, they're as good as they'll need to be for the rest of the run. And the walk up to the rat, which is like what I'm doing right now, I think honestly has some pretty dang tough like encounters, like this one for example. I would lose a lot here as well, especially to the ones where it spawns like there's like a couple of rooms where it spawns like a million weaker enemies, and those would get me all the time, but I didn't encounter any. And there I got more spice. I think that's my 3rd or 4th spice at this point. So right now I got 1.5 curse from the statue, and then 3 curse from the spice, 3 or 4, so that's like 4.5 or 5.5 curse. I really got to be careful to keep under 10 curse, so that's in the back of my mind right now. It's in the front of my mind, honestly. I worry about it a lot over the course of this run. And I also have to note that I downloaded the save file for this run off of the speedrun website, because when I played this game way back in the day, I 100%ed it on Xbox, and now I'm doing it on Steam, so I didn't have all my stuff. So I just downloaded a 100% file off of the speedrun website. And here's the rat. I think the first phase of the rat is really, really hard. I think it's way harder than the second one, so I'm more privy on using all my blanks and stuff on this wave instead of the second one. Like, this one has just a ton of fast moves that I really find hard to react to, but I have the glass cannon, so I kill them really easy. Alright, and we're on to the punch out phase of the rat fight, and I'm really embarrassed to show this off. This might be the single worst rat fight I've ever had in my life. I remember like in the middle of it thinking that I wanted to like just give up and start over, but I'm pretty glad I didn't. And I do get hit in this rat fight here, but I personally don't think it counts because you know, it's not like the normal game, so I guess if you count it then the run's invalidated, but I don't think it counts, so. There were a couple of other like honor rules I used for the run too. I guess this is kind of like a dishonor rule where the hit doesn't count. But there's an item called Full Metal Jacket, which when you get hit by a bullet, it automatically uses a blank for you, so you technically don't get hit. I just thought that was kind of cheap and went against the spirit of the challenge, so I decided not to use it. And then once you defeat the rat, he gives you keys that unlock chests with like rat items in them, and the rat items are like completely overpowered, so I chose to not take those either. Anything else was pretty much fair game. Yeah, and I'm like one hit away from death here, so I really had to lock in. I was having trouble countering some of his like attacks that I didn't know the timing for super well. Alright, rat defeated. He drops a bunch of good items for you. I think he literally replaced all of my items with spice. Or he replaced like 3 of them or something like that. And at this point I was really concerned about the amount of spice I had eaten, and I wanted to look up the effects to make sure I didn't have too much curse or that my accuracy wouldn't get too bad. So I put those up on the screen right here if you want to read through them. I think I've eaten 3 or 4 at this point. I just really didn't want my accuracy to get too low. And it looks like spice also slows down enemy bullets, which is really helpful, especially in turbo mode, which this is on. I forgot to mention. I think this is like the 3rd or 4th attempt. This is the 4th attempt I've made where I got past the rat. So from here on out, I get extra nervous and play like pretty slowly, so you have to bear with me a bit for that. And in this room here, if you use a blank, a secret room opens up, and in there you can use 2 keys and get to this little dragon guy. You feed him, it's 3 or 4 items, and he will follow you around and will do something later. So I just feed him this trash gun I'm not going to use. I always have to double check if I'm pressing the drop gun button or the drop active item button, so I don't accidentally drop my active item. So I grab him, I ignore the rat chest, and I go straight to the 4th floor. The 4th normal floor. This floor is also pretty tough, but if you've done the rat and the Abbey of the True Gun at this point, it's really nothing too crazy. The big thing I'm looking out for is those like ice cubes that you saw on the bottom there. Those guys can kind of get you out of nowhere if you're not paying enough attention. So just be careful about those. And then that ghost spawned right next to me. That was pretty scary. That guy spawned literally right next to me. I knew that spice decreased your accuracy after a point, so I bought that item right there that increases it. And then this guy has an owl, which is like a little follower that uses blanks, and it's really handy. Or it's like a good defensive item. I don't know if it's like too good as far as S tier items go, so I really want that. What's nice about this floor is that it's guaranteed to have that like guy in the grate, so you can sell a bunch of stuff at him, and I have a bunch of stuff I'm not even using, so I can sell that and get the owl. And that guy dropped a spice. And then I did this Gunsling King challenge here. It was without dodge rolling, but I mean, if I needed dodge roll, I would have done that to not get hit. I just like figured you might as well try it. And then I got Liquid Valkyrie, which I believe slows down enemy bullets by 20% or 15%. So basically the bullets are moving like normal mode speed and I'm moving turbo speed. So when this trap room just looks evil, so I'm just gonna do that later. You gotta shoot every chest once, make sure it's not a mimic. And I'll just use my active item so I can get here pretty easily without having to worry about all that stuff. This like, active item's super good. I got the hazmat suit. I think I have 3 separate items that make me immune to poison, so I'm like super immune to poison. Alright, completed the whole floor. I think what I'm gonna do here is sell some of my stuff and buy the owl before the boss fight. Like this gun here is not really that good, so I'll just sell it. And then I'll just sell all the other crap I'm not using. This guy is actually how you access the next secret floor, the RNG department. You have to sell him 2 items and then a master round that you get from killing a boss without taking damage. I don't want to give him a master round yet because when you do that, he like sinks into the floor and disappears. So I still want to sell stuff, so I don't want to make him disappear yet. Yeah, and I'm just doing a lot of putzing around, honestly, because I'm really nervous to fight the boss. I don't want to get hit and lose. But I just 3-shot him like that. Very easy. And then here I got an active item. I couldn't remember that if you kill the rat he doesn't show up, or only if you have all the rat items he doesn't show up. So here I'm testing out whether or not the rat's gonna try and take this thing before I go and sell it for some extra money. It doesn't really end up mattering at all, it just wastes a bunch of time. And then I'll just give this guy the master round, and then I'll go on to the next floor. So there are only 3 floors left. This probably is one of my least favorite floors in the whole game. Like the enemy types and stuff are cool, but the floor is pretty much the exact same every time, which I think is really lame. So I just never really do it. You also don't even really get anything cool from coming here. I don't even know why they added it, honestly. So it's like lame, but also cool. Like these enemies, all these you never see anywhere else. I don't know why they even exist. I hate this floor. And like the boss, I don't even know. It's like the boss is like a green guy in a helicopter, and they like say, "Oh, voiced by this guy," but I don't even know who he is. And then here I was really again concerned about the spice things, and I forgot all the effects because there's like a million of them, so I put them back up on the screen here while I research it on my phone. I guess I decided to eat it. I think at this point I literally could not remember how many spice I had eaten, so I was like, yeah, I was being extra cautious. And for these rooms, I don't even know what a lot of the enemies do, so I just kind of stand in the corner and shoot at them as they come to me. Alright, we're already at the boss. I didn't full clear the whole floor because I know where the boss is, so I don't really have to, and there's no chests or anything, I don't think. So I just go straight to the boss. There's no reason not to. And then there we go. Basically a 2-shot. My damage is insane. Probably like some of the highest I've ever seen. I think I killed him before like my owl and dragon and glass Gungeon stones even showed up. And then here spice replaced the 2 drops I would have got. I think at this point I'm like, okay, no more spice, so I stopped taking it. I also do want to talk a bit about my channel. I don't think I've uploaded like a real actual video in like 2 years or so, but I do want to get back into it. I think what I want to do is try doing like really difficult like challenge runs in various games. Like obviously twin stick shooters are my jam, like this and Atomicross, but I'm open to other stuff. So if you guys have any suggestions that aren't too ridiculous, like oh no, you know, no passive items, starter gun only, stuff like that, definitely leave them in the comments. I'm pretty interested to hear them. And I have like one more video idea on the docket that I want to do, but other than that I don't really have anything, so I would appreciate it if you guys would do that. And then also if you have any like criticisms about anything I'm doing, I'm pretty new to this, or I'm pretty inexperienced I should say, so that would really help me out. And then here I get flight, which is just awesome. I don't have to worry about falling in gaps anymore, which is a pretty big worry for me. Earlier on in my attempts, I was allowing myself to take the rat boots from the rat chest because it's not too overpowered and it's just really handy to have. I decided not to do it for this run, and I ended up getting flight anyway, so it didn't matter. These guys are crazy hard. I just use a blank on him. I don't want to deal with him at all. I think this is my second time ever making it to this floor hitless. So yeah, like I said before, I'm pretty nervous. Yeah, pretty much the strategy is just to hide behind cover and shoot, like pop a shot out every once in a while. Here, Shadow Bullets is just a good item. It gives you, like, bullets a chance to have an extra projectile, so buy that, really good. I have 5 blanks stored up, so I should be pretty good to go for the boss. I do like to fully explore this floor though, just because. Also, there's that guy that gives you an item for fully exploring the floor that I talked to a bit ago, so I want to do that. I don't even really need anything at this point, it's just fun to do. And you never really get a run like this, so you kind of want to do as much as possible, up to an extent. You don't want to get yourself killed. That was one of the things that kind of sucked about grinding this out, is because sometimes I would just get like really lucky, like really fun runs that I just wanted to play out, but for like the sake of time I just had to just reset and do it again. This took me so many tries. It probably took me more tries than it took me to get the Atomic Crops world record runs. And right here, I almost get hit. That bullet teleports behind me and almost got me. I think my Dragun saved me there, one of my Guan stones. That would have been really sad. That gun's pretty good. I don't really need any other guns at this point, though. I just always want to keep my hegemony carbine and the dueling laser. Here, none of these items are really that handy, and I also have 0 keys, so just ignore that. Alright, time to get to the final boss. My first attempt that made it to the forge died to Advanced Dragun, so I'm pretty nervous coming into here. Especially since I think Advanced Dragun is probably, well, it is the hardest single boss in the game. I don't even really know its moves. You kind of just have to come here with cheese, because I don't think a lot of them are even really avoidable. And this part's normally pretty easy, but there's that little dragon that shoots extra lines of bullets that can make some parts like literally impossible. So I just pop my active item here so I don't have to worry about that. It's pretty safe. There was some weird thing I noticed with my active item, where like I was doing so much damage that it wouldn't even charge it. It would like just not. It might happen in this fight. This fight. I say fight in quotations. And I got a jammed Advanced Dragun. Yeah, see, look, at the bottom left, my item's not even charging at all. But I can just blink through it anyway. I have a lot of blinks saved up. And I kill him. And basically here I'm just putzing around for a little bit because I'm scared. Alright, and on to the last floor. The hardest stuff is definitely behind us, but there are some really tricky rooms in bullet hell. The Lich himself isn't really that bad. Phase 1 and Phase 3 are pretty easy. Phase 2 I think is actually really hard and has a couple moves that I also don't really know how to dodge. But with this build that shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, a lot of the rooms on this floor are long. They have a lot of like the toughest enemies, obviously. This floor itself is also super long. There's also nothing really important on the floor besides just the boss, so I'm not going to full clear this floor either. Alright, more of these guys, pretty scary honestly. I hate them, I really can't stand them. Nothing too bad. Those shotgun guys there are really scary normally, but the shot speed's so slow from the items I got that it's not too bad. And I can just kill them before they even shoot. These guys are also pretty scary normally, but again, not too bad. Yeah, I can kind of kill most things before they even appear on the screen. This room's a little scary, but I kill them right away and I just pop my active item so I don't have to deal with it. I don't have any keys and I'm probably not going to get any, so you can just junk the chest right away there. And I ran out of ammo, so I actually have to use my weapons that I have in reserve. Thankfully I have some pretty like okay ones, so it shouldn't be a problem. This one's really nice because it has piercing half the time. And it's like you can shoot it as fast as you can tap the button, which is really nice. This room is pretty scary normally, so I really want to kill these guys before they even have the chance to shoot. And then in this room, I think I almost get hit by one of those slimes that I hate so much right there. Oh my god, I would have probably broke down and been inconsolable if that had hit me. Yeah, I don't even know what that enemy was, just kill it. I don't need to know, as long as it's dead. I was honestly a little scared of this room because the Grim Reaper is invincible and he just shoots at you until you kill all the enemies. But luckily the enemies are coming to me, so I really didn't have to worry about it. This room's honestly a little scary too. Like I said, those bats tend to get me a lot, so I just wanted to make sure that I was safe, so I used my active item. Alright, and we're at the boss fight. Yeah, I'm not going to clear the entire floor because I don't need to. And here I actually paused because I needed to take a breather. And I wanted to check what my heart rate was because it was beating out of my chest. So I'll put a picture of that up on the screen here. This is literally what I was doing when I was paused. I was getting my heart rate.
I'm like shaking.
Alright, and then we'll be on to the final boss here. It probably won't be much of a fight. I want to make sure my cog of battle is procced for this magazine of the gun. And we kill it. And I'm going to be honest with you and spoil it, the other two phases go pretty much the same way. So yeah, that's my run. This run is really lucky. I will admit, I don't think I played the best ever. I definitely have had some other runs where I played better, but I was able to get it here, so it is what it is. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching it.